Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am going to be doing a tutorial, doing a look using the new Patrick Ta I was gonna say face palette, but it's not a face palette. It is an eyeshadow palette, and it is this one right here, which I'm sure you've seen it everywhere because I've seen it all over my newsfeed. This is the very first time that I'm trying out the brand, so I'm super excited about that too. And it's not only my first time trying out the brand, but it's also their first time doing an eyeshadow palette, so I am excited to try it. And I did ask you guys on Instagram if you would be interested in eye swatches or a first impression. And today I'm going to do a first impression because you guys chose that. So if you guys would ever want to let me know what you want to see first, or what you want me to upload, if you want a review, if you want a tutorial, if you want a get ready with me, a first impression, whatever. Sometimes I post it on my Instagram. So right now it was 36% for eye swatches, which I really thought it was going to be the eye swatches first. But y'all decided on the first impression. So that is what I'm gonna do today. And like I said, it is a very, very neutral palette. I don't know what look I'm gonna go for because usually a colorful look is probably easier for me, just because I'm like, okay, I kind of want these colors to go together and then it looks like an actual look. And then with a neutral palette, it's kind of like they're all almost brown, so they kind of can all look the same. And I just recently did a tutorial using the Huda Beauty palette. Now I'm gonna do another brown look, but you guys, it's a neutral palette, so what else can you do, you know? So anyways, this is the packaging right here. Really, really pretty. It's a rose goldish, pinkish color, and then these are all the shades. Okay, so quickly, I did already clean up my eyebrows and put my concealer on my eyelid. This is the Make Up Forever Matte Velvet Skin. This is what I like to use for primer at the moment, and that is all I have right now. I have not set anything. I'm gonna go straight into the eyeshadow palette. There are two cream eyeshadows in there, or cream bases, but right now I'm gonna use just the powders. So I'm just gonna apply the dark green one. Wow, that's pretty intense on my brush already. So I'm just gonna apply this one right here on the crease area and just focus that right there. And I'm just gonna pack it on right here like that. Okay, and then I'm gonna take my small little blending brush and I'm gonna use the one that's right next to it, which is this one there. It's kind of like a chocolatey brown, like a reddish chocolatey brown. And I'm gonna blend out this edge. Hopefully it's not super, super dark. Haven't even swatched these. That first brown one packed on really nicely, by the way. It showed up pretty quickly. I didn't have to go over it too much. But since they are kind of intense, or at least that's what it looks like the shades, I want to see if they're easy to blend out. So like I said, this one has a little bit more red to it. It looks really nice. I'm using a tiny little blending brush so I can focus that just in my crease area. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. I mean eyeshadows that get super creamy to where you have to work a little harder to blend them out. All right, so that blended out pretty good, but now I'm gonna take the one right next to it, and that one's like the mid-tone shade, and I'm gonna go all the way up towards my brow just to kind of help me blend out that medium tone. If you can hear snoring, it is my dog. She's asleep right here next to me, and she's knocked out. All right, so there you go. You can see right there, it blended out pretty easily. You do have to work a little bit more because like I said, they do feel pretty creamy, but not that it doesn't blend out, you know? So right now I use 3 shades just because I'm trying to go like from dark to light going towards the brow. But now I'm gonna do a cut crease. I'm gonna take some concealer because I wanna apply a light shade all on the eyelid, make it like a big contrast between the two, the lid and the crease, you know? So I'm gonna just take my Make Up Forever Matte Velvet concealer and I'm gonna create a cut crease. So now I'm gonna use a clean brush and just take off the excess of concealer so I don't have too much. And now I'm gonna use the lightest shade in the palette, which is this shimmery champagne light glittery color. Let's see how it looks without wetting it, but I think I'm gonna wet it anyways because it does look like it's a little flaky, like one of those flaky intense eyeshadows that could be intense if you wet them. So let me apply this here. Yeah, no, this is a little bit too flaky without wetting it, so let me grab my MAC Prep and Prime, and now I'm gonna go into the crease I mean, into the cut crease. Okay, so it's not showing up as shimmery as I thought it was. I thought it was gonna look very wet looking. What does this remind me of? I know there's some eyeshadows that look exactly like this. So you see how I'm packing it on? It kind of creases, like if it were thick, but I'm not applying that much. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna leave the end like that. I'm just gonna try the one that's right next to it, see how that one looks since it's not as light. It's a little peachy color. But the formula, it seems like it's exactly the same as the other one, but let me see. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as the lightest color in here. So I'm gonna spray it. Let me see. Okay. It's not really showing up either. Do you guys see how that's not really showing up? And I'm grabbing more. Maybe those are meant to be used with your finger. I can't really tell much of the difference. I mean, you can tell it's a little orangey, but not so much. So let me, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and use the one that's right in the center. So that one's not shimmer. It's a shimmer, but it's not like a glittery shimmer like the other ones look. I'm just gonna take the same brush and just apply that. There you go. This one does have some regular eyeshadow mixed into it, so it's not just a shimmer. So this one's showing up better. I'll just leave it like that. I won't go all in with the brown, but just leaving it like this looks pretty good. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna apply the dark brown one, the last shimmer shade, and apply that on the outer corner. So that way I can get some dimension. So I'm just gonna pack that one on out here. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. I did get some fallout there, but I'm gonna remove that in a bit. So now I'm gonna take my small little blending brush and grab the dark brown and go over this edge. So I'm not gonna do too much. It's just all very shimmery now, all across. Okay, one more time, I'm gonna blend the outer part up here. So I pretty much have glitter like all over now, just from that, you know, third shade that I used at the end. It does look really pretty now from light to dark, so that's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and apply eyeliner on top of this, and then I'll clean up the bottom. I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face. I'm gonna start with my primer, and this one's the Huda Beauty Jelly Primer. Still kind of just looking at my eyes. I don't feel like, actually I could just do kind of what I think about it right now as I'm doing my makeup. For foundation, I'm using the Hydro Maniac from Urban Decay, and I'll have all the products linked below. Forgot my color correcting. This is the Fenty Beauty. Yeah, so like I was saying, I thought it was just gonna be a little bit more intense, like the shimmer is just better, just because it is a little bit more expensive. You know how Natasha Denona has those eyeshadows that look really intense? There are some, I remember, or I'll grab my palette right now and I'll show you what I'm talking about, but there are some that are really flaky and they don't want to like flatten out and look pretty on the eyes. And right now I was wearing a cream, which was the concealer that I used to prime. I'll use it with an eyeshadow primer, like I'll see the difference, but it was already like wet. And then I did use prep and prime, so I really thought that the shimmers were gonna show up like nice and wet looking and more flat, but they kind of just crumbled up on me. So that's kind of disappointing because it is a very expensive palette, like Natasha Denona prices, or even more. It's $68. Natasha Denona is $60, $65. Can't remember, but you know, it's like it should be pretty good quality. So these are the mattes. The matte worked out so good. So those blend out. You can tell that they're really intense. I mean, nothing wrong with those. They pack on, they blend it out. So those, I could see how good quality they are. The metallics are the ones that I'm talking about that are just so flaky. Luckily, there's only, oh no, I thought there was only two. There's three. I've actually never done this, finished like the first impression review. Usually I'd wait to the end till I'm done with my makeup to give you like the rest of my thoughts, but it's kind of fine to just give you the rest of it while I'm doing my makeup. Kind of fun, you know. Like right now it's just kind of like, you know, whatever-ish. You don't need to get this palette at all. I wouldn't say it's something that you must have. You probably already have the shades. I really like that Urban Decay foundation. It looks so good. It's like not matte, not too dewy, nothing like that. Really glowy, really natural. Like a natural finish to it. Then I'll try it again with using the base products or the base cream eyeshadows that it has inside, because I didn't try those at all today, so I will try it again. But again, like I'm saying, you don't need the palette for sure. 100% you don't. Especially if you already have, like, if you already like neutrals, then you probably already have the colors, the shimmers, everything. I guess maybe like for a makeup artist it would be good because it has different shades of nudes, you can say, because sometimes brides really like something very like neutral, very brown, very more like on the natural side. So I see how those tones can work on someone like that. It's a good palette for someone who does makeup. But if you also like neutral tones, I would just guess that you might already have these colors for sure. I'm gonna do a really bronzy, shimmery look today. This is the Natasha Denona Tan Blush, which is so beautiful. And I think it looks so good with brown eyeshadows. Just gives you that really glowy summer look. Summer tan, summer glow. And I also say, like, for a makeup artist or someone that does their, or wants this palette to do their makeup, like for a going out look, because doesn't this look like that? Like if you're going to a party, maybe a quinceañera or a wedding, like yourself, you know, not, I mean, you can also be the bride and just be like very neutral tone, but if you're just going to a party or something like that, you can wear something like this. It's really pretty for something like that. For bronzer, I'm going to use the MAC one. This one is called Delphic, and it's an extra dimension bronzer. It has a little bit of shimmer to it. It's like 2 or 3 years old. Or when did it come out? Maybe 2 years ago? Maybe not 3. But like 2 years ago, and it just has the prettiest shimmer. I'm going to work on the lower lash line because I need to finish off my eyes. So for that, I am going to first apply an eyeliner, and I'm going to use this one from Urban Decay. It is the 24/7 Double Life Pencil, and this one is brown, and it just has some shimmer to it. Then I'm going to use the dark brown one, the dark brown matte, and just apply that really close to my eyeliner and the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take the medium brown, this one right here, and blend out the bottom. See, these mattes are really intense. Like, these are nice. They blend out, they're smooth, they pack on. You don't need like a bunch of product for them to show up. And then to finish off the face and the eyes, because I'm gonna apply a highlighter on the inner corner of my eyes, I'm gonna use this shade right here, which is my favorite from the entire palette because it is really, really intense. So I'm gonna take this one and I'm going to spray it with Prep and Prime. And I'm gonna use this one here in the inner corner. I think I'm gonna apply just a tiny bit of this one without wetting it though. Right up here on the brow bone. And then lastly, I'm just gonna apply this on my cheeks, which this one gives me a really intense highlight. It is beautiful. It's my favorite one, like I said, from the palette. They're all nice and glowy, but this one is the most glowy one. So done with the look. Is it a pretty look? Yes. Do I like how it turned out? I do. Do I think that you need this palette? Definitely no. I'm not like super wowed by it. I thought maybe I would because, like I said, I really, really thought that eyeshadows that are metallic were going to be more wet looking. That was just my expectation. I don't know why, it just was. And then, like I said, I haven't swatched the eyeshadow, so let me do that now. And then I'll show you, we can talk about like how it looks. So I'm gonna start with the top row. I'm not even gonna do the creams yet. I'll do the creams last. But I'm gonna start with the top row, which has the shimmers and the metallics in there. And there are 5 of these. So here we go. This one's the dark brown. We're just gonna go from darkest to lightest here. Which one's this one? This one, okay. So you see here on the swatches, they look really flat and like wet looking, and by flat, that's what I mean. It's like the shimmers are not chunky or anything. So this one is a just regular shimmer shade. This one is a dark brown metallic, so you can see right there how it really does glow whenever it's on the back of my hand, like in a swatch. This one is the medium shade with a little bit of glitter in it or shimmer in it, and then these two are the ones that I tried to use on my eyelid. This one's the peachy one, which you can't really see it. It's more like a topper, it looks like. And then this one is the lightest shade in the palette, which is also a metallic. So those two last ones, whenever they're on camera or like on a picture, like from what it looks like here, it looks like they're really flat and nice, but they are really loose, like they're loose. And even though I used it on top of a cream eyeshadow, they still didn't stay like really nice and flat and wet looking. I even sprayed them with the Prep and Prime. I use that for pretty much every metallic or shimmer shade that I have that I want to really intensify, like I did on the inner corner with the highlighting palette. So most of the time they can look really nice and like flat, wet looking, you know, thin. I don't know, I keep saying flat, but what I mean is like that shiny glow on top. And these are just really flaky, and yeah, they don't have much pigment to them, so it's more like a topper almost. Have you seen when people do like brides and stuff and they only want something very, very natural? You can apply that on top of an eyeshadow and just gives you that glow, but it's not going to give you the true color that it is in the pan. And the shimmer ones, those really do show up, but like I said, it has a very fine gold glitter in both of them that once you start blending it out, it will get on the rest of your eye. It does look pretty, but it's more of like a going out, very shimmery look. It has like a very, very fine loose glitter, and since I tried blending it out right on top of the cut crease that I created, it just got the glitter everywhere, you know, even on top of the mattes that I used. Oh no, so there is one more shimmer shade, which is this one here. I guess I could have tried this one on the inner third as I was trying to use, like the same way I was trying to use this one, I should have used this one. But anyways, let me go ahead and swatch the bottom row. Anyways, this is the dark brown matte, which is beautiful. That one shows up like really good, true to color. It packs on nicely. I feel like all of these do, the ones I used on my eyes. That one's like my skin tone color, so you can barely see it, but there is the last one. So those, you know, there's nothing extra to say about those. Are just matte colors that really do show up. They show up like the way that they look there. They pack on nicely. They blend out easily. So those are the ones that I'm talking about that remind me of the Natasha Denona matte shades. I just don't think that you need them from this palette in particular because these colors are in many, many other palettes. I'm gonna swatch the cream shades because those are the two that I have not even touched. So there is a dark brown and a medium brown. I think those, if you wanted to get like a glossy, more editorial type of look that you just want like one shade all over your eyelid, just something glossy, you could probably use those two like that, or you can use them as a base for your matte shades, but they're not necessary because the matte shades really show up. So I told you I would grab the Natasha Denona palette that I was talking about. So this one does have some shades in here that are very similar to those shimmer shades that I'm talking about that are kind of like flaky, chunky. So this one right here is like that. This white one is too, and I think this one on the end right here, and that's why this has like kind of glitter everywhere. It is because of those eyeshadows. You can use them on their own, like I said, but they kind of get flaky. So even if you spray them and stuff, they don't lay just like flat. They kind of get glitter everywhere once you start blending it out. So that is what those two shades remind me of. I didn't use this one, so I don't know about that one, but for sure these two. So you guys, that is pretty much it for this first impression. Like I said, I do feel like my look is pretty. I do like the way that it turned out, but I don't feel like you need this palette whatsoever, just because I'm sure you have neutral tones if you like neutral tones, and if you don't, I don't find that this one is that special to get it for $68. I think if you already have some Natasha Denona ones, some Urban Decay ones, or even Too Faced ones, except for the holiday stuff, but anything other than that you might already have neutral tones, you probably already have these shades. Like I said, they're not bad. I came up with a pretty look. I like the way that it looks, but it's not one to where I feel like, oh, I have to reach for that one just for neutrals. I do feel that the mattes are really nice, but I do have mattes in Natasha Denona palettes as well that perform the same way. So do I think you need this one? Nope, but I do think it is really pretty if you are interested in it and you want it just because you like the brand or because you don't have a lot of neutral palettes, then go ahead and try it out. But like I said, not a bad look. It is really pretty, but I'm just not wowed as I thought I was gonna be. Maybe I'll try out some face products or maybe the lipsticks or something from the brand and see what I think about those products. But as for this one, there's nothing like amazing to where I don't think that you might already have these shades or these type of formulas or anything like that. So anyways, you guys, if you agree with me, great. If you don't, you know, we all like different things, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.